Hey, how you guys doing today? Welcome to Ajax Production. I am your host and your Ajax, and we are back with another amazing video. And on this episode of Ajax Reacts on the Ajax Pro TV network, we have an amazing episode for you today. I know you guys have heard about this T app that is going viral, where women are using the app to basically communicate with each other anonymously on who they're dating. If in case they, in case the guy is, is abusive, or the guy is sleeping around with multiple women. But without further ado, let's get into this video. Before we get into the video, let me set it up real quick.
Now is your chance because 17,000 of them just got leaked. That's awful. Last week, 17,000 women were essentially doxxed in a data leak from the app. You like how I'm doing this like a newscaster? Well, last week, 17,000 women were doxxed.
So before we continue, let's shout out the creator of this video, who is Noel Miller. He has 2 million subscribers. He's doing very well on the platform, and you guys should definitely go check him out and give him a like. It's 18 minutes, so let's get this rocked out.
In a data leak from the app known as T. Back to Noel for more. Yes, this app T, which was known as a dating safety tool for women, which is a highly contested point, which we will get into later. Basically, they got a bunch of...
So basically it was supposed to help them. It was supposed to help them, protect, them from predatory men that are dating, right? Which is a great idea. And I think that there's been multiple apps like this in the past. I've heard of it, older people saying that they had something like this. I forgot what the name was called, but there was an app that was used for this type of thing. But let's keep going.
A bunch of information leaked. How the information is leaked is fascinatingly stupid, and we'll get into that later as well. But first, if you...
I didn't know how they got how they got, hacked, which is very interesting. It's like, if this is supposed to be anonymous, then this is horrible. This is horrible.
Don't know what I'm talking about, and you don't know what this app is, you should know that first. In essence, women can sign up for this app and they can post about men. The idea being, hey, do any of you girlies know this guy? And can you tell me a thing or two about him? More specifically, if you look at the app description in the App Store, it states, users can anonymously ask for dating and relationship advice to find support and empowerment from our community of verified women. Verified women is an important piece of information that I want you to remember for later. If you look at the T app's website, they don't describe themselves in a series.
Yeah, so I heard there was a waiting list that you have to get approved to get on the platform. So it's not like everybody can get on the platform. So it's very particular type of people.
A serious way.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation.
Navigating the modern dating scene can be daunting and scary. Hello Dateline, but with T, you're never alone. Join a community of over 4,647,000 women dedicated to empowering each other and get access to a suite of dating safety tools made just for the FBI girlies. When I read this, I just started picturing an actual FBI campaign targeted at recruiting women in this same voice. Are you an FBI girly? Why do it for free when you can do the real thing, paid? Lurk Discord forums and create psychological operations 100% remote. And if you're good at it, maybe we'll let you bring some of your girlies into the fold too. The FBI, it's not just for the boys, it's for the girlies too. Now that you understand the overall premise of the app, would you be surprised if it was created by a dude? It was created by a guy named Sean Cook.
And that was the interesting part, is the fact that it was created by a man to help women anonymously find out about sketchy men. I guess my question is, aren't there women out there that can make something like this? I'm gonna just leave that there.
Cook, and his reasoning for that was his mom started dating online. She got back out into the scene, and she got catfished, and she ended up being, I guess, engaged to a guy who I guess had a criminal record, and she never knew that. So he thought, why don't I create an app to help others avoid this situation? Now, here's the problem that I find with tech, all right? Anyone can get into tech, and you'll see what I mean by that in a second. Here's a quote from Sean Cook back in May. He did an interview about the T-app for Medium.
I mean, of course, anyone can get into tech. Anyone can get into business. You see what I mean? And tech is just it's just another industry that's ran under business, right? If you have an idea and you can put a team around it, yes, anyone can get into tech. But I don't think that should be a hindrance on why he made the app, or why the app, or that shouldn't take away his credibility to make the app type.
Growing up, it was all about making music. I learned a bunch of instruments and participated in all sorts of different bands and choirs. In high school, I put this knowledge to good use and would visit
choir gang, you know what I mean? I was in choir as well, so I can relate, to my guy being in the musical field, musical after hours in school, stuff like that.
An after school program in an underprivileged part of Philadelphia where I regularly taught students music lessons. My passion for music has continued into my adult years, and I still produce pop music, play in bands with friends, and perform piano at cocktail bars. Everyone has known for at least the last 15 years that tech is a great way to get paid, right? And that's where a lot of people have gone to form careers, people have made total changes in their life to work in technology because of the bag, all right? Which, let me be clear, I'm happy for anyone that was able to improve their life by getting a job in tech. I certainly did that. However, I don't know if a band kid should be running this app. Does that make sense? Because it's clear if you've seen the screenshots, which we'll get into later. If you've seen the...
Okay. Nah, like I said, I don't think him he's a nerd, right? I think he's perfect for making something like this. Or making an app. Maybe not a dating app, but making something like this. I don't think this is far-fetched from anybody being able to make something like this, But...
seeing the way this app has just played out in culture, it was not used for its intended purpose. It's got a wide array of how it actually is used by people. And I just don't know if a band kid should be at the helm of that. That's just my 2 cents, which I don't think is that controversial. Now, later in this interview is a quote that bites this guy in the ass with 2 rows of shark teeth. And this also calls for a wardrobe change. And I'm definitely not cutting to other footage of me talking about the same subject. Most of the app is free to use, but our suite of dating safety, I can't talk. But our suite of oh my God, dude, I'm having a stroke. But our suite of
man, off topic, man. Reading on camera is something. I'm not saying that people don't know how to read, because I don't think that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, like, it could be a little interesting to see how people, are put on the spot to have to read on the spot. It's kind of a little difficult and a little more, complicated. And we need to give people more grace. That's what I'm trying to get to at that point. We need to give people more grace.
Every time I hit a bottleneck, I build a new AI employee to crush it.
I used to say that I had one AI employee.
Because I need more grace.
You can't put this in the edit. This is horrible. But our suite of dating safety tools requires a $15 a month subscription. If we could, we would make the app completely free. Buddy, you did make it free. But we need to pay the data providers that help our users run the safety checks. Let me say it again. This is a quote that renders this guy assless. Now, taking his mother's origin story, we'll assume that this app was created with very good intentions. Now, again, the intended use of this app is for women to communicate with each other and potentially call out a guy who can't be trusted and just generally be able to look out for each other. A key feature to this app is that when a man is posted, he can be rated with green flags and red flags. kind of like your favorite ticketing app online, which I will not mention. Kind of like SeatGeek. Now, whether it's optimistic or idealist, again, the app has a specific intention. It's supposed to be a private and safe space for people to share information. But how that actually plays out and how it's actually used is a lot more complicated than that. If you just look at TikTok, you know, it's a lot of Gen Z girls scaring Gen Z boys on their lives.
No, they posted me on TV. God dang it. They got me, I guess.
Ooh. I know, I already see it. But I'm green flag. It's good though.
No, they didn't, bro. Don't say that. No, bro, don't say that. Don't play like that.
You remember earlier when I said that each person is verified that they're a woman? That would be wrong.
All right, fellas. I'm in. I broke the barrier, bitch. I had to put on a wig and all type of shit, but bitch, I'm in, bitch. Y'all hit me up and let me know if y'all want to put y'all name in this goddamn search. I'll search y'all up, man. I'm in. We done infiltrated.
And if you manage to just look at screenshots from the app, sometimes the post.
Wait, that's how the app looks. I've never actually seen the app. I haven't even done the research to see what the logo of the app looks like. It's very interesting to see. That's how your pictures get put up there. Ew. Kind of looks very gross, but hey.
Posts about men just end up being like Carfax reports on a guy's dick. Funny looking small 2-door coupe with a great personality. It's a brutal scenario for guys with small hammers because again, the point of the app is to call out creeps and freaks. And then if you got a small hammer, you just get lumped in with those guys. You know, it's like Jason Voorhees, what is it? Count Orlok, and then Stuart Little. You know, you got people going, this guy's suspect. And then the whole crowd turns and goes, and this guy has a little dick. This app existing at all is very controversial.
He's like, this one's a creep, this one sleeps around. And this one got a little wee-wee.
You go through TikTok, you see people kind of discuss it at length. And I think it was a day, maybe not even a full 24 hours before the data leak happened. This guy pointed out on TikTok that using this app makes you a target. And his point being that data breaches happen all the time. And that is true. Which, by the way, this is a good reminder to all of you. Change your passwords regularly. Which brings us to the breach. We have to point out that a lot of these articles sensationalize this whole thing by saying it was a hack. They make it sound as if it was a team of 10 guys taking down a bunch of servers in an Amazon warehouse. And that wasn't it at all. Essentially, some folks on 4chan just started poking at the app security, and they very easily were able to find a bunch of in-app data. More specifically, the problem was shockingly simple. T stored sensitive user data in a cloud database without any authentication. There were no passwords, no encryption, just a publicly accessible storage bucket. A single URL led directly to thousands of private images and documents. You could essentially say this was all in an insecure folder, which is also a great roast for a guy with no confidence. I do have to say, I think this is probably the most dude way for a bunch of women to get doxxed. In that, if you're a guy who's in a long-term relationship, or, you know, a girl in a long-term relationship with a dude, I think you both understand a dude being the culprit of a fuck-up like this. I picture a woman approaching a guy going, hey, a scammer just hit me up and let me know he has my ID and a bunch of DMs I sent, and he got it all online for free.
Wait, so there's no security on people's information? What? I guess I can see why a band dude shouldn't be dealing with tech stuff, because obviously, imagine putting your information and just finding out that yeah, we didn't even have to hack it, bruv. Hack, bruv. We just walked in, we just broke the door and we just entered. You know what I mean? Like, it was too easy, way too easy. What?
Free. Do you know anything about this? Yeah. Yeah, he got it from a link. A link? What link? He got it from a link with all your shit, and I put it there, and there was no password. What do you mean there's no password? There's no password on the link, so he's able to just open it, and he got everything. Is there supposed to be a password? Yeah. Why is there no password? I forgot.
What?
The glaring issue in all of this is that when these women signed up, I believe the app told them that their personal IDs were not stored, and so they were lying about that too. And who knows if they were actually storing the IDs and selling the information. We'll never know, will we? So all that gets us to now, where we're seeing the fallout in real time, and obviously the fallout was brutal. The first thing people went after were the verification images people submitted to the app, meaning the selfies they took to compare against their photo IDs. And that is tough because verification photos are not flattering for anyone. You know, everyone looks like shit when they take a verification photo. Unless you're like, a peak 1% hot person, I think most verification photos take you down at least 3 points from where you're already at. So if you're a 4, you're definitely a 1. And if you're a 3, you're a 0. You start going negative, depending on who you are. I saw all those images and it made me think, I hope any photo I've ever taken at an airport never sees the light of day, because I know each one of those images, it looks like I got hit by a bus right before I took it.
Listen, if you're currently in sales, you're in door-to-door, you're in high ticket, you're in pest control, or you're in solar, or any other position where you...
No question. I know I look fucking horrendous.
Well, honestly, let's just get straight to the point. Let's stop. Yeah, let's just get straight to the point. I mean, first of all, like, he was right. First of all, he's right. I don't think the guy was properly equipped to handle such a high technology like that. I don't think he was properly prepared for the virality of the platform. I guess he didn't expect people to poke on it too hard like that. And I don't think he expected it to even be successful at all. You know what I mean? So, I will give him that grace. But overall, y'all be careful on what platform you put your information. Make sure you change your passwords, like he said. Make sure that your digital, digital footprint is secured, so you don't get your information out, doxed out and out in the wrong hand where they will just follow you and do weird things. But honestly, I think we've done it long enough. I am your host, Eniola Ajax, and I will see ya on the next video. Thank you.